well, we've managed to get ourselves into a great spot. She's come into a bit of shade to rest now, and she's kind of just looking around, and there was a few impalas that were alarm calling. There's a squirrel that's alarm calling at her, and so I think she's gotten into the shade now just to take it a little easy, and hopefully to take a bit of a break, and then maybe, just maybe, if we've got any luck whatsoever left in the tank for a last minute little leopard cub. Imagine that, if she starts to call and that little leopard cub comes out. She's nice and full though. She's got lots of food in her tummy and lots of milk, which means that she still does have the cub because she's producing a lot of milk, and she's got the suckle marks. And we know that there's one cub because one person has actually seen her cub. But this area that we're in is an ideal place for her to have a cub hiding away. It's very thick and deep drainage. It's not easy to find or see leopards in this area, and we just got very lucky that one guinea fowl out of that whole group was making a noise, because there was more guinea fowl there was impalas, and it took one guinea fowl to just make that alarm call to give away her presence. If it wasn't for that, we would never ever have been able to see her. So super cool that we did. And I looked briefly where we first spotted her. I didn't see a carcass, but I think there must be one somewhere. Mia, she does have stunning eyes. She takes after her mom. Her mom is Thandi, and so the two of them are absolutely beautiful individuals, and they look quite similar. They've got a sort of certain look to them, and they both have incredible eyes. But I love Kuchava. She's a very cool leopard, and I'm sure Taylor is going to be bouncing off the walls because Taylor comes back to work this afternoon, and for her favorite leopard to be here is just absolutely insane. So I'm sure Taylor is going to be heading straight to this area this afternoon to try and see if she can see Kuchava, because I know she absolutely loves Kuchava, and hopefully, like I say, she'll call the little baby out, because if the little cub is here, that's just going to be even better. Now you'll hear a lot of chirping in the background, and that's because there's two squirrels that are shouting at poor Kuchava. They're sitting right here, and so you can hear them going absolutely crazy. So they're obviously doing that because they've seen the leopard, and so eventually they'll get tired of it and they'll move off, especially if she lies down and starts to sleep. Then the squirrels leave her alone. But you can see they're quite panicked about this situation at the moment, and so the longer that Kuchava sits there, the more they'll shout at her for now. As soon as she probably drops her head, then they'll leave her alone and carry on and go somewhere else. The problem for these squirrels is they're a little bit stuck. They can't really actually go too far. There's not really a bridge of trees to get them out of there, so they're going to have to sit tight in those trees for a while this leopard sits quietly. One grand, you're asking if she's not as used to cars as other leopards. So no, it's not that. I mean, she's sitting, at the moment, she's not even 10 meters from me, and you can see she's relaxed now. The thing is with her is that, unfortunately, a lot of her time is spent on her own. She hangs around in areas that are very dense, very thick, difficult for people to get to, and so it's not as much time spent with her as maybe some of the other leopards around here. That, coupled with the fact that it's her first litter that she's just had, and so that's made her very elusive. She's trying to keep this little cub safe. She's trying to hide it, and moms that are their first time moms often are like this. They often are a little bit more shy, and they try and keep their little cubs as hidden as possible because it's a big event. It's the first time she's getting a little cub, and she's trying to keep it as safe as possible. And if she's anything like her mom, she's probably very good at kind of keeping it safe, and so that's why maybe she's a little bit skittish. The other thing is that, also remember, we came upon her very suddenly, so it's not a situation where normally when you see a leopard, you'll spot it from far, the leopard spots you, and you kind of come together, and that's okay. She's yawning a bit. I think she might get up and move, but in this situation, we kind of came over a rise, and she was right below us, right on top of her, and maybe she just got a little fright that we were there, and that's why, with the alarm calling and us and everything kind of happening, she just trotted off. But now she's absolutely fine. I mean, you can see she's very relaxed. The fact that she's not even looking at us indicates that she doesn't really mind too much. A little grooming going on. I don't think she's going to be sitting for too much longer. I think these squirrels are making too much noise, and she's probably not enjoying that very much at all. Michelle, you say she looks like her mom. She does, doesn't she? You can tell it comes from that lineage, and so this is another part of the Karula lineage, if you can believe it. It's amazing how many leopards in this area that we see that kind of come from the Karula lineage, but very, very, very special to find her. I haven't seen Kuchava since, well, in a long time, before she even had this little cub, so it's been almost 3 months since I last saw her. And it's funny enough, the last time I saw her was very early in her pregnancy, and she was scent marking a lot on Chitwa, and I kind of thought maybe she might be pregnant at that time, and it turned out that we were right, and I think Noel had a sighting of her with very, very heavy, and then obviously she gave birth, and now she's been seen with that cub once before. But very, very cool leopard. I thoroughly enjoy her, and the fact that she's here on Chitwa is great news for us, because hopefully she's going to bring that cub into this area and we'll get lots and lots of sightings of her going forward. It's very special that she's kind of behind the dam wall, and if she's comfortable enough to sit here, and if the cub is around in these areas, then she's comfortable enough to kind of bring it here. That only bodes well for us as, you know, a interested group of leopard crazy people that like to, you know, see these things and see the little ones, and hopefully means more time with Kuchava. Interestingly though, I would have thought if she's come up here, it must mean that Tundi is north of us still, in Torchwood. I don't think she would have come here if her mom was around with her cub. I think there would have been a bit of a kind of interaction there, so I'm surprised that she's here. It means that Tundi's definitely must be up near Torchwood side, and that's maybe why we're not seeing any signs of her. But very cool to see her. Either way, like I say, any leopard is awesome, but Kuchava especially, because it's been a while since we've had any time with her whatsoever, and I'm really hoping that she does call out this cub at some point soon. But while we watch her groom herself and just take it very easy, let's send you back across to Byron, who's got, well, a rather large aquatic mammal.